Hey guys, what's going on? It's James in Amarillo. One more night, one more time. And I got a couple of things to talk about tonight. Keto food and drinks. Keto Swag. Jessica Jones binge watching. So first off, let me be real honest. I am not 100% prepared tonight, but I missed last night because I fell asleep. Actually, that's not true. I'm lying. Okay, so hey, sorry. No, I was actually watching Jessica Jones really late, and I looked at the time. It was already like 1 in the morning. So, but we'll get to that in a moment. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, things were piling up. Hey, Christy. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is keto food, right? Keto food. And here's the thing that I've learned about keto food. First off, people think that people on a ketogenic diet only eat like meat and cheese. That's totally not true. I'm actually going to try and share more keto-friendly foods that have a broader taste palette than steak and cheese, if that makes sense. Now, having said that, hey, Diara, having said that, okay, hamburgers without a bun are really freaking good, okay? You know, and literally, so we're at work today. We have a bistro at work, and we order this keto, well, we call it a keto burger. So you order a burger without a bun. The cook comes up and says, "You want bread?" And I'm like, no bread. Okay, you want it just meat, cheese? Yeah, bacon too. Add bacon. So they added bacon. Okay, how do we serve it? I said, just wrap it in lettuce. Just get a lettuce, just like it's a bun. And after much conversation and reassurance that we didn't need any other vegetables or condiments on it, they finally served Christy, actually, and I, our keto burger, and it was yummy. So first off, that's a staple, right? Keto burger, a bunless burger is a staple of the keto diet. Definitely a crowd pleaser. But a friend of mine, Mr. Paul Dees, had pointed out that he gets bored with, the run-of-the-mill meat and cheese and cooking with cream and butter and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I mean, you can totally eat all the greens you want. So, if you're into greens or cruciferous vegetables, that's cool. But for flavor, you do have some limitations. I mean, ironically enough, how many things are not flavored with a sweetener or a fruit? And how many things are not given their texture by rice or noodles? So, Mr. Dees, aforementioned Mr. Dees, actually his wonderful wife, Laura Dees, actually solved that problem for us. She made it, and I don't even, a psyllium husk, right? I don't know what that is. Psyllium husk and cheese, like 3 different cheeses mixed together. She made noodles, like sheet noodles, like you would lay out noodles, right? And with those noodles, she made a keto-friendly lasagna I want to say it was under 4 or 6 carbs per serving. And I got to tell you, I love Italian food. I love pasta. And there's nothing in the vegetable or cruciferous vegetable or green vegetable world that really feels like that. This psyllium husk and cheese noodle, oh, it was amazing. It was literally one of the best things I've had since starting my diet. And more important than that, it's versatile, right? I mean, because it's like this sheet of dough, right? You can make it into, I don't know, a bun maybe, or tortilla type thing, or maybe roll a burrito with it. You can make any kind of noodle. You can make ravioli with it. It literally has 1,001 uses. So Laura made this. It's actually Paul's mother, I think, that came up with the recipe. She combined a bunch of other recipes and came up with it. And I don't have it, and I'm not going to ask for it, 'cause, I mean, it's a family thing, right? But I got to tell you, if you can get Laura to like send you some, it's worth whatever the shipping is. I'm just telling you right now. But more important than that, I'm going to see if she's willing to share. Maybe I'm kind of calling her and Paul out here on a video, on a live. I think it would be amazing. I would share it to everyone I knew, because I need to know how to make me some of that keto lasagna. It was freaking amazing. Another thing that we had this week, of course, is, hey, Gina Blair just joined us. So, hey, Gina. Christy, you're right. It was, I literally wanted to eat it all. I mean, we had like a tray of leftovers, and Paul was very kindly giving us these generous portions. There was one portion left, and I was embarrassed to ask for it. I didn't. It was so good. I was like, yeah, I don't deserve seconds of that, right? Hey, Tina Brolin, Miss Amarillo herself. So today I had a hankering for pizza. So that's another thing you really can't do well. The solution to it is what is commonly known as cauliflower crust, or there's some recipes called fathead pizza crust, and it's made with cauliflower. I don't know the process. I haven't made it myself. I probably never will. Same with the lasagna. I'm probably just going to try and bribe Paul and Laura to keep feeding me. I think that would probably be more equitable for myself. But what is really amazing is now there are two pizza places in town that have cauliflower crust pizza. Generally speaking, the keto world, it seemed like, before I got to be a part of it, would order these crusts from like California or wherever they make it and get it shipped to them cold, and then you could freeze it or make your own pizza. But thanks to people like Gina and Cody Blair at Fire Slice Pizzeria, you can just order it and pick it up or eat it there. On top of that, one glass of red wine. We're allowed that on the ketogenic diet, and he has a wonderful red, which I got to sample today. So that was exciting. As I mentioned before, 575 Pizzeria does a cauliflower crust, and so does Fire Slice Pizzeria. So I'm only going to talk about Fire Slice tonight because that's what I ate. I got to tell you this, okay? It was definitely the best cauliflower crust pizza I have ever eaten. It was probably one of the best slices of pizza I've ever eaten. Now, I'm going to give you some more details, because people say this stuff. You got to try it. You got to try it. I'll tell you what it tastes like. So here's the thing. I could not tell that I was eating a cauliflower crust pizza. The dough, and I asked, but nobody told me. I get it. Trade secret. But the dough on this particular pizza was so consistent with a regular thin crust pizza dough that literally, like a hand-tossed thin crust. It looks like hand-built thin crust pizza dough. And I couldn't tell the difference. Now, you might say, James, well, maybe your taste buds just suck. Dude, I actually worked as the dough master for a Pizza Hut in college. That's all I'm saying. I made dough. I hand-tossed dough. You understand? For years. Of course, it's just Pizza Hut dough. I'm not pizza chef. But I can tell you that I could not differentiate in the taste or the texture or the look of this dough to the other. The other thing is the marinara sauce was really nicely evenly spread, or the pizza sauce, whatever sauce they're using. And Cody informed me, which was really kind of interesting. The pepperonis were incredibly tasty, by the way. The vendor that he uses to provide them, he has an exclusive with their meat vendor. So you can't get this particular cut of pepperoni anywhere else in town. And it was very tasty. Not salty at all. I have experienced some saltiness in other keto pizzas. This one just tasted like pepperoni pizza. It's a 10-inch pizza. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you're eating with your wife, you might want to get two. All right. I don't have the exact carb count on this, but I want to say the entire pizza was between 30 and 40 carbs. So we divided it in half. So you're looking at a 15 to 20 carb meal. Not horrible. If you were on the weight loss, you want a ketogenic diet, you want to be under 25 carbs, this could kick you out of it. But it was literally the only carbs I had all day. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. It's really hot in this room. I have got to get an air conditioner in here. I apologize. So I got keto lasagna and keto pizza, two of my favorite foods, and definitely the absolute best representation. I mean, lasagna literally was explosively delicious, and the pizza from Fireside's Pizzeria in Amarillo, Texas. I mean, it's if you're not sure you can do the ketogenic diet, go over there and order one of those, because you will literally not be able to tell the difference. It is so good. It's definitely one of the best pizzas in Amarillo. I'm saying it right now. Okay, and these are my friends. Full disclosure, I don't work for them. I don't advertise for them. I ain't getting paid for them, but they are my friends. But I will tell you, in spite of that, or because of that, or whatever, I really freaking enjoyed the pizza. The atmosphere was great. The wine selection is incredible. And you got to go check it out, guys. If you haven't gotten to Fireside yet, you got to go and go soon. That's all I got to say. So that brings me to my next subject, which is, oh, by the way, keto drinks, right? Now, I am shocked that more of my friends do not know or have not tasted the wonder that is Scotch. Literally. Not only is it well aged and smooth, this is just a Johnny Walker Red. It's not even really expensive, but it's zero carbs, guys. Zero carbs in a glass of Scotch. Now, this particular glass of Scotch, it's hot. I knew I was going to be sweating, so it's a glass of Scotch with tonic water. Okay, gives it a little bit of a bubbly. The Scotch has a naturally woody, sweet taste to it. If you want to have a drink and you want something more than one glass of wine, I would say go learn yourself some Scotch, okay? Because there's no carbs, dude. There's like no sugar in it. You should totally do it. And it's great. It's smooth. It's a good drink. It's a drink you can feel proud of drinking. Johnny Walker Red, I would suggest that if you're just getting into Scotch drinking. It's a good beginner Scotch. It's also a cheap Scotch if you're just sitting around in a t-shirt, which brings me to Keto Swag. You like that segue, right? From one to the other. So I got this keto because bacon is better than diabetes. I think it was like $10 on Amazon. While I was on Amazon, I also grabbed this amazing shirt, which my wife has already told me she's going to steal, which is Game of Ketones. Thinner is coming. I thought that was clever. And then another shout out to Paul Dees. He sent me this. This is one of my favorite expressions. Drive it like you stole it. I wore this yesterday. It's a wonderful t-shirt. Thank you, Paul. And then finally, also from Amazon, in case you're wondering how you can come up with these wonderful keto recipes, I now have 250, and I'm lazy, ketogenic crock pot recipes. So I will be sharing as we progress. Hopefully in a live. You never know. And then here's the last thing. A couple people have called me out because I'm binge watching Jessica Jones. And I thought to myself, first off, it's a superior comic book TV show. As a matter of fact, Jessica Jones is a superhero, but she's not, it's not like overbearingly superhero. In other words, her superpowers are not exploited in constant stunts throughout the series. As a matter of fact, it's kind of played down. And if you really broke it down, I mean, she's just this damaged, hard-nosed private investigator who has a stalker. And I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about how important the theme is here, right? I mean, this is a woman who has a physical assailant, someone who has physically wronged her and who has been damaged by this experience and is in a tough, male-dominated profession. And she's just hard as nails, rough and tumble, wisecracking PI. And she is, and this is, by the way, Kristen Ritter, John Ritter's daughter that plays Jessica Jones. But Jessica Jones has always been a character that I've really kind of appreciated. Now, I'm going to be really honest, full disclosure here. The character in the comic is not the same as the character in the TV show. And what I mean by that is this. Comic books, unlike other facets of entertainment across the spectrum, whether it be television, radio, or whatever, movies, comic books have always been progressive in how they portray the gender role. Okay? And what I mean by that is this. Full disclosure, I'm not proud of the 60s, 70s, and 80s female comic book costumes. But remember, the audience at the time, the target audience, were, 12 to 30-year-old men, a lot of whom were not necessarily the most cool guys on the planet. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd. And sometimes a little bit of the whole sex sells mentality went into the comic book writing. And that's fine. And I'm not going to try and say it wasn't sexist. It's not wrong. I'm not going to get into that argument. But I want to say is that if you're interested in strong female archetypes and strong female roles and ideation, that you should take a look at comic books, because there is very often that the hero, the protagonist in the story is a strong female character. Comic books also very early on were proponents of having superheroes or role models that were openly gay. You have literally, there's no social ideation that comic books haven't tackled. And I think that's really what I wanted to get out. So why am I watching Jessica Jones? Well, I'm trying to get through all the Netflix Marvel shows by the end of summer. That's my goal. And Jessica Jones, so far, Jessica Jones and Daredevil are my two favorites. I really, really like Punisher, but I like Punisher for a whole different reason. And it's kind of in a world of its own. But if you've got time and you're interested in finding more about how comic books tackled themes before major media did, Jessica Jones is a good show to introduce yourself to that world. So I guess today's little live was really... I'm out.